Hello everyone, I'm Joshua724 and you're watching this Minecraft house. Ever since discovering I could build things in the Minecraft world, I've thought about what all I would want to build. I remember one time, IRL, that I had built for myself what I thought would be my dream house. Mind you, I think it would probably cost $100,000 by now. But, it got me thinking about what all I'd want to do. And Minecraft sort of opened that up in terms of, well, obviously, how that house would be and how a real house would be very different. But it gave me the chance to build and live in a house, despite the fact that it's not even real. One thing I noticed with a lot of Minecraft houses is that the edges they would make out of tree logs. Now, I'm sure that a lot of people like that idea, but it never seemed to fit me. However, instead of just having a house that was like all one piece of wood, I also wanted to have something that could give it substance. And at the advice of my sister, I have put in some windowsills. These are basically stairs that I have put in at certain angles, and it seems to have added some texture to the front of the house. Furthermore, I've been able to add it to all the other windows. Mind you, I'm not sure if that actually looks completely right, but at least it gives my house some quality other than just being plain wood. As well as with the roof, that was just something I thought of when I was remembering a house in my old neighborhood. How the wood would go up to a certain point and then it would change to sort of make the roof area. You'll notice that there are a lot of windows for this house. Well, I definitely want it to be opened up to the outside lighting, not just to like prevent mobs from spawning, but it sort of gave it an openness to it. I did something similar with the front door. I've seen a number of houses where they'll have windows on the other side of the door. I'm not exactly sure what that would be for, but it definitely looked interesting. Obviously you can tell that I have a metal door as well as switches to work it. Well, that's only so that in case I forget to close the door on my way in, like you might with a wooden door, the switches make sure it stays closed. You'll notice that I've gotten rid of all the quartz and added carpeting. When Mojang finally decided to add carpet to the game, it was like I could finally add some kind of color to my house. Mind you, that means I'm no longer able to light my house the way I had it lit before. And as such, I've re-added the lighting scheme that I had. But it's a small price to pay to give this house some color. As you can see, I have sort of added rooms to pretty much every area of this house. I'm not sure if I'd necessarily use all these rooms, but it sort of like helps section off areas so that certain areas could do certain things. Like for example, here I've got, well, I guess you could say a crafting room and a cooking / forging, metallurgy, whatever. This is where I cook everything, and this is where I'd make everything. For the moment, this back area has remained just a back area to store things. Heading downstairs, this area's pretty much stayed the same way it was. I have had this grid system up Mind you, this was sort of an experiment to like see what the distance was I could have between redstone lamps, so that I didn't like have to put them over every square inch, just to like prevent moths from spawning. I'm sure I could do that back upstairs with the other lighting scheme, but I had that way just so that I could like get the green carpeting down. In some past videos, you'll have seen that I had created a spiral staircase. Now I tried to implement that in this house, but it seemed a little obtuse for a small house. Mind you, I do plan on expanding later on, but for the moment, I'm just going to have a central staircase for people to climb. Heading upstairs, this area is pretty empty. They're just divided off rooms. I predetermined that, and as you can see, I haven't exactly finished it up. I just mainly tried to section them off just to like make sure I built the section properly, and make sure that I had everything in a 5x5 area, which to me 5x5 seems to be the ideal amount of space to like have a space of your own within a house, as well as not to waste any space. Here's the attic. I'm not exactly sure what all I wanted to do with this, as much as I like the idea of having an attic, especially when I had built my first house in my first world. And it was just one of those things where I liked the idea when I had did it the first time, just because it looked interesting. Furthermore, it allows for a library, well, more like placing a library area to place a enchantment book. Which the main reason to do this is just for the enchantment book. Of course, at the same time, I like the idea of having a secret attic that I can do magical things in. I had my bed up here. Of course, I've since moved that to another room, because before, when I had it as a 2-floor house, the first floor and then the attic, I just wanted the bed to be up so that it would be away from the first floor, away from mob spawning. But now that I've got the rooms divided off and everything's pretty well lit, I can now have it on the second floor somewhere. Looking at the back area one more time, I have this back door that I put in, the same way I have the front door. And I did this just because I like the idea of having a back door. This was going to be a tower for an idea I had, but it was more like to have a way to view large distances, or long distances, whichever you want to say it. But it's one of those things where I like the idea, but I just don't know what to do with it. Well, that should just about do it. I haven't decided yet if I want to do more of these. If anything, I wanted to show off what I've done, as well as pay homage to an old show my family used to watch. Thank you for watching. Feel free to subscribe and like this or my other videos. You've been watching this Minecraft House.